There are some nights in life that even after 100 years you can never forget. For me, that night was my wedding night, my wedding chamber. Even today, after so many years, if I close my eyes, I can still smell that room, the sweet fragrance of attar. I still see that shy, lowered face. I can still feel that first trembling touch. The whole day was full of so many preparations, so much noise and bustle. In the morning, the turmeric ceremony. In the afternoon, signing the marriage contract, the prayer by the cleric, the crowd of relatives. My head was spinning. On one side, the signatures, the ring exchange, everyone's blessings of mashallah, barakallahu lakuma. On the other side, the flash of cameras. Altogether, it felt like I had lost my very existence. When I first saw my bride sitting at the wedding stage, an unusual storm raged inside my chest. We didn't know each other before. It had all been arranged by our families. But when I saw her, it felt like this was the person I had been searching for all my life. She was sitting in a red sari, with her veil pulled low, but her eyes kept looking at me and then lowering again. Even though I wanted to keep looking, with the crowd of people there was no way to say anything. The later the night grew, the more restless I became inside. Everyone was laughing. "Brother, say a prayer, inshallah, it will be good." Hearing that, I wondered, why are they finding this so funny? But inside, I was in a completely different kind of hesitation. What does a wedding night even mean? I had heard so many stories. Some said it was scary, some said it was a dream, some said it was a strange experience. But in my head, there was only one question. Tonight, will I really be able to start a new life with her? At last, everyone sent me into the decorated room with her. It felt like drums were beating inside my chest. As soon as I entered, the door closed. From outside came laughter. "Brother, start your new life, may Allah be with you." Inside the room, the first thing I felt was silence. Only the fragrance of attar, rose petals on the bed, and a dim light in the corner. My bride was sitting on one side of the bed, head lowered. I couldn't see her face clearly, covered by her veil, but I could hear the pounding of her chest. I stood there for a few seconds, not knowing how to begin. Then I slowly stepped toward the bed. At the sound of my footsteps, she trembled. I went and sat beside her. For a while we were both silent, only the ticking of the clock and the fireworks outside. I gathered courage and softly said, "Don't be afraid. From today we are together, trusting Allah. We'll walk this new path of life." She didn't say anything, but just looked up once. In those eyes, at the same time, there was shyness, fear, dreams, and love. At that moment, I realized this person sitting in front of me is my partner for life. I reached out my hand. Her hand slowly came into mine, trembling. So soft, so unfamiliar. Yet it felt like my own. I said, "I know this is new for both of us. Inshallah, we'll go slowly. There's no need to rush." Her lips moved slightly. She whispered softly, That first word, that first agreement, I felt like I had received the whole world. The night went on slowly. We asked questions about likes and dislikes, dreams, hobbies, childhood stories. She laughed. I listened. Sometimes I touched her hand. She lowered her head in shyness. There was no tension, no force. Only two people breaking through fear, slowly coming closer. That night, I learned, the wedding night is not just about physical union. The wedding night is the first embrace of two souls, the beginning of trust, the first dream of seeing a future together. People may laugh, make stories. But for me, that night was completely different. In my bride's eyes, smile, and voice, I found peace. From that night began our true love. Even today, Looking back after so many years, I realize if that night I had rushed, maybe we wouldn't have understood each other so well. But slowly we had opened the doors of our hearts. And that is why our relationship is still so strong today. That first conversation of our wedding night, that first touch of hands, and that first smile, even now, those are my most precious memories. Yes, maybe from outside it was just a night. But for me, it was the most beautiful beginning of life. When those night moments ended and morning came, I looked at her for the first time. Through the window slit, the sunlight fell on her face. Her eyes still closed, breath calm, sleeping like an angel. I thought to myself, I had never seen anyone this close in such a way. A lock of her hair had fallen over her forehead. I gently brushed it aside. A warm, swelling feeling rose inside my chest. After a while, her eyes opened. She looked at me and suddenly turned her face away in shyness. I smiled and said, "If every morning starts like this, I will never be tired of life." She said nothing, only gave a shy smile and pulled her scarf again. Then began the real hassles of the first day of married life. Outside the room, relatives, in-laws, everyone laughing, teasing. "Why are you up so early, daughter-in-law?" I saw her turning completely red. In that moment, I silently promised, I will always be by her side, no matter what. After breakfast, we had to sit together in front of the whole family. Under the table, I gently held her hand. She trembled, but didn't let go. I realized she was slowly learning to trust. The day went on. At lunch, when we sat to eat together, I intentionally asked, "Can you mix the rice for me?" She looked surprised, then smiled shyly. With a spoon, she put rice on my plate. That small act felt to me like the biggest symbol of love. In the afternoon, we stood together by the window. Outside, there was a light breeze, faint sounds of the village or town around. I asked, "Are you scared?" She shook her head. "No, but it's the first day in a strange place." I held out my hand. "Get to know me. I'm your person. I want you to never feel alone." Her eyes filled with tears. That night, when everyone had fallen asleep, we sat together and talked again. This time she spoke much more openly. Memories of childhood, studies, dreams, fears, everything. I listened and thought, with this person I will share not only my body, but also my soul. Then the days passed one by one. During the first week, we got to know each other anew. Sometimes small arguments happened. If I came home late, she would sulk. If I didn't share my thoughts, she stayed quiet. But every night we opened up to each other, and those little grievances melted away. I understood. The wedding night is not just one night. In truth, the wedding night is a beginning. That night broke us open to each other, and the following days deepened our love. Even today I remember, one early morning in that first week when I was leaving for work, she stood at the door and said, "Come back quickly." Those 4 words felt like the biggest gift in the world. Day by day we built our small home. Laughter, tears, quarrels, sulks, reconciliations, all of it made us a real couple. And at the core of it all was the trust of that first night, the warmth of that first embrace.